Hello, I'm Koji Kumura from Happiness Realization Party. Thank you for tuning in to Truth D. Today, I'd like to talk about totalitarianism and the difference between political systems that lead to happiness and those that lead to unhappiness. When you hear the term totalitarian state, what kind of country comes to mind? For example, in George Orwell's novel, 1984, very famous one, there's something called the telescreen that constantly monitors people's lives. China and North Korea are close to this reality. China has hundreds of millions of surveillance cameras watching its citizens at all times. Totalitarian state often sounds similar to dictatorship, and in many cases, they are practically the same. But here's something important. It's not just a single dictator who creates a totalitarian state. In fact, it's the people themselves who sustain it. Even though they are actually ruled by fear, repeated indoctrination and political training brainwash them into believing they are simply doing what's right. I once watched a video about the Pyongyang Marathon. A North Korean guide was passionately telling American participants how great Kim Jong-un is. Because information is so tightly controlled, they don't even realize they are living under fear. North Korea calls itself the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Democratic. In this sense, democracy and totalitarianism have one thing in common. They both rely on the support of the people. But there's a decisive difference. In totalitarianism, even though the people unite behind one ideology, God is absent. Freedom of religion is not allowed. In North Korea, for example, no ideology other than Juche is tolerated, and there are numerous reports of executions, torture, and arrest for religious activities. And China's government is infamous for suppressing Christians, Tibetan Buddhists, Uyghur Muslims, Falun Gong practitioners, and others. The opposite is also true. In a country where freedom of religion is valued, totalitarianism cannot take root, because in totalitarian regimes, the dictator takes the place of God. People are treated as tools of the state, and their human dignity is ignored. It doesn't matter if it's right-wing or left-wing. Hitler and Mussolini on the far right, Stalin and Mao Zedong on the far left, all ended up building systems that disregarded human rights. In totalitarian systems, sacrificing people for the sake of the state's image, honor, or prestige is considered normal. It's well known that Hitler was once a painter. Interestingly, he disliked painting humans. He often drew buildings or scenery which were extremely detailed. On the other hand, human figures were either absent or tiny in the background. This might be a small clue to how, under his totalitarian rule, individuals ended up being treated as insignificant. If humans are seen merely as things or machines, then they are not considered precious. But that's not the truth. Humans are children of God. That's why we are precious. This is what religion teaches. Without freedom of religion, neither human rights nor democracy can truly exist. Our party's president, Master Hokawa, conveys the following point. People must be free, because human beings are children of God. As children of God, they must be guaranteed their freedom and dignity. This is the very basis of what we call human rights. When the Soviet Union collapsed, it said that underground church believers flooded into the streets. Even though religion had been suppressed during Soviet times, faith never disappeared, showing that humans have an instinct to believe. In conclusion, protecting the faith and freedom as children of God is essential for building a political system that's the complete opposite of totalitarianism, one that truly respects human rights and makes people happy. That's all for today's video. Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this meaningful.